Welcome to my next project. Say hi, Lolly.
Hi, Lolly.
Okay, so remember last time how I wasn't gonna do anything to this bathroom, and I was like, okay, wait a minute, maybe I should just do a paint makeover. Well, I'm gonna. It's gonna be mostly paint. I'm going to paint the shower, going to paint the walls and do a fun design on the walls. I'm going to leave the floor as is, but I actually decided on this wall too, I'm also gonna do a board and batten, but a special kind of board and batten that I don't think I've really seen before. I'm going to be framing out the bathroom mirror. I'm going to be building new doors for the vanity, painting the vanity. I'm gonna paint this granite. I'm gonna do the same method I used for my kitchen, except I'm gonna do a white marble with a white marbling. I mean a gray marbling. So gold, and then I'm gonna replace my sink faucet and fixtures and stuff. So a little more involved than I originally was gonna do, but I am so excited to get started. Okay, so I didn't originally have planned to skim coat these walls, but I just am not loving this texture. So I am just going to smooth it out. I don't need it to be a perfectly smooth texture. It can have, I am doing what's called a skip trowel, which will kind of get rid of some of this orange peel. So let's do that. This is the product I'm using for the skim coat. You can use different things. You can use joint compound, whatever. This is what I got, so this is what I'm using. Okay, so this escalated a little bit quickly. I ended up taking off the mirror, which was not very difficult because it was just being held in by these clips, but it turns out there's these empty boxes behind it. So I am going to be reusing the mirror, putting it back in exactly how it was. I will not be replacing it. And I also took this light fixture out, which is actually annoying because it's not, I mean, it looks kind of like it, but it's not centered here with my faucet. But there's no fixing that because there's a stud right there center. So it's as close as it's gonna get, but I am gonna replace it. And I wanted to take it off so that I could skim coat everything and paint everything behind it and not have to worry about working around it. So that made it easier. But let me show you this too. So this right here is after one coat of skim coat. I'm not gonna be doing this lower part because this is where I'm gonna do my board and batten. So I don't need to be worrying about the wall here. And you can see how it's kind of imperfect. It's got all these things, but I actually just did the upper wall. That was, I did a second coat exactly the same way. I just waited for it to dry and did a second coat, and look how beautifully smooth that is. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna finish up. I actually also have these weird switches here. So I think I'm gonna just cut this out and move this switch over here by this one. More work. This thing is just piling up, but I wanna get it done right. Okay, so here's what we're dealing with. I did not realize there was a stud right here. So I think rather than just leaving this where it's at, I'm just going to put it at the same height, and then I'll start my my pegs underneath it. So I'm just gonna attach this to the wall right here and then put my drywall back in and call it good. Okay, so I opened this up. I wanted to see if there was any slack on this wire to bring it any closer to this one, since there's no slack on this wire. So I think I've decided that I'm gonna put this one right here, and then this one I can drill through here and put it, I don't know if I'll be able to get it right here, but I can at least get it right here so they'll be closer together. I turned off the breaker, I tested, make sure that there's no power coming to this. Basically all I'm gonna do is unplug it, unwire it, move it, and then wire it up exactly how it was wired. So I'm keeping track of which wire is which, and that's all I'm doing. Okay, so as you can see, I did a second coat on this patch, which I'm very happy with. Once it's all dry, I will sand it all down and then do a second coat of my topping all the way across. And that will even that out. I haven't done a second coat of topping here, but I have done on this wall. So I'll do a second coat here. Tomorrow, we should be good to paint. And I also had my shower paint come in, so I'm excited about that. Okay, so here we are. This is getting so close, although over here there's still some spots that are drying, as you can see. So I don't know if you can see this, but you see, like, I need to get out of here. Okay, see these ridges? There's just small little things, little imperfections. You don't have to sand that with topping. All you need is a sponge and some water, and I'm just gonna go and wipe down the walls, and I can wipe down those ridges, and it'll smooth everything out into perfection. So that's what I'm doing. It's a lot less messy and easier. Okay, you guys, this is the primed wall. Let me show you what it looked like before we did the skim coating. Okay, so I didn't originally have planned to skim coat these walls, but I just am not loving this texture. So I am just going to smooth it out. I don't need it to be a perfectly smooth texture. It can have, okay, let's get going. I went to my local Hobby Lobby and found myself some paint pens. I am going to be doing a wallpaper on this wall. I want to get it done first before I paint the shower so that I can get my toilet back on so it can be functioning again. So we're gonna do this today and it's gonna be awesome. Okay, so here's my game plan. I went and found this piece of particle board left over from my mudroom build. I cut it at a 60-degree angle, so I think this will be more efficient than how I did. I'm doing the same wall, by the way, as this project that I did right here on my sister's mudroom or pantry. So it'll look like that, but I'm doing a thicker board, which means bigger diamonds and a different angle, but I think it'll actually be a lot faster. Assume this is level.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, Mom, so I can't do that.
Okay, can you come help me hold this board? Just hold it. Yeah, just like that. Let's see. Great.
I'm not having...
Okay, so I did all of my longest ones all the way around the room. And they're not perfect yet. I just did a right, and then I'll go back with something lighter weight and fix these lines. But this board is too long to do some of these other ones. So now I'm just gonna, now that I've done all the longest lines first, I'm going to cut this down, probably cut a foot off of it, do those ones, cut another foot off, do those ones, etc., etc. Okay, so I'm going through and I'm perfecting all these lines. And you guys, just so you know, stuff like this right here and like this right here, I'm just using my white paint to go touch it up. Not a big deal. So, but I do want to show you. Look at this! I just got this off of Amazon. I am so excited about it. I'm glad it came today because we need light in here. I'm gonna show you how to wire this light. It is very, very simple. Okay? We have a black wire and a white wire. Black to black, white to white. You just twist the two ends of the wires together and put a wire nut over it. And then you've got a copper wire, which is your ground wire, and twist your copper wires together. And then you just screw it in. So easy. Okay, so this piece should come with it. This has 2 screws, These screws are meant to stick out because that's what your light switch is going to grab onto. So I'm gonna stick this on. Put these two wires together. Make sure they're both black. And then if you twist the wire nut over it will tighten them up. Woohoo! You have light. Okay, so now that the wall's done, I'm gonna work on the shower. I'm ignoring a bunch of stuff today because I'm so tired. Those hospital days take it out of you. It's crazy. So DIY is my therapy. This is what we're doing. So let me show you this product I'm using. I got this off of Amazon, Magic Tub and Tile Refinisher Kit. I have used the Rust-Oleum kind before, and that one I think would do the trick. I used it to paint the actual tub last time I did it, and after a year or so it started peeling up around the drains. So unless you've got like a powder coat kit or a porcelain something kit that's meant specifically for bathtubs that are going to be holding water, I wouldn't paint a bathtub on its own unless you just need a quick fix and you're going to hold it, you're going to replace it soon. But where I'm just replacing where I'm just painting the shower tile, this is going to be a great option and it'll last forever because the showers just don't get as much wear and tear from the water. So step number one, we would be removing all the caulk, but I don't have caulk. Whoever did the shower just used grout, which is not a great practice. So I'm gonna caulk everything after I'm done. But the first step is to just clean everything really well with an abrasive cleaner. I've got my handy dandy drill brush here, and I'm going to be using the pink stuff. This is an abrasive cleaner. It worked really, really well in my other shower. But if you have mildew, if you have other things on there, this is pretty clean already. You remember the shower saga from last time. It might require more, but this is all I'm going to use for this.